Hey guys, so I wanted to hop on and make a little video all about sticking to the 21 Day Fix nutrition plan while you're either traveling or while you're eating out. It's a question that I get a lot because we're all bound to travel and eat out at some point, but that doesn't mean that you can't still stick to your nutrition plan. So here are some ideas and tips on how to stick to that nutrition plan, still stay on track and hit your goals. Now, I 110% believe in not letting any sort of nutrition plan or diet rule your life. Life is all about having balance. You can still enjoy the finer things like wine and beer and cocktails and cheese and dessert and all of those things. I personally stick to the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time I eat pretty healthy. 20% of the time I allow some cheats, I allow some treats to come into my diet. Because if I deprive myself completely, then I become really, really crabby and I'm just not a very happy person. So the same goes for when I'm traveling or if we go out like on date night and eat out at a restaurant. So here's some ideas that you can try and stick to. Number one, whenever you go and eat out, always scope out the menu before you go. That way you have a set expectation of the type of food that they serve, any adjustments that you're gonna have to ask for your meal, substitutions, that sort of thing. And if you're able to pick the restaurant, then that gives you a little bit more wiggle room. So you can do some research on maybe like 3 or 4 different restaurants, pick the one that has the best options for you, or the most options, the healthiest options. And that way you can kind of adjust and maybe suggest to your party guests to go to that restaurant. Makes it easier for you to stick to your plan. So scope out the menu. One thing to look for, even if you're ordering healthy dishes, is how they actually prepare the meal. So a lot of times you might be ordering something that you think is super healthy. Like for example, you'll see grilled salmon on the menu a lot. However, oftentimes when they pan-sear salmon, they pan-sear it in a ton of oil and the salmon just sucks up that oil. So that little 6-ounce piece of salmon that you're eating might end up being like half a day's worth of calories because it's pan-seared in a lot of oil. So my tip number 2 is to always ask how they prepare things. So if you're ordering chicken, I've made this mistake many times. I ordered chicken thinking that it's just gonna be like some grilled marinated chicken, and it comes out like encrusted in cheese, which is absolutely delicious. Don't get me wrong, but that's not what I expected because I didn't ask. So always ask how they prepare it. You can ask for them to prepare cooked meats like that, dry grilled, so that way they don't sear it in butter, they don't sear it in olive oil. Just make sure that you ask. There's nothing wrong with that. I think people get afraid to ask about dietary restrictions, but remember that the restaurant is actually catering to you. So double check on how they prepare the food. If you are eating out and say you're going to a restaurant that really doesn't have any great options for you, then snack before you go. There's nothing wrong than if you have to eat before dinner. That way you don't show up to a restaurant starving. I've definitely made that mistake before too. It's not good. So maybe have a snack, a light snack before you go, and then have something lighter at dinner. When I look at a dinner menu, if I'm eating out, I'll look for steamed veggies. A lot of times at restaurants, you can add that on as a side. So I'll look for steamed veggies. I'll order grilled meats of some sort. So grilled chicken. If there's steak, I might order steak without the garlic butter on it. I will order big salads. Salads are always a great go-to, and you can kind of adjust things on the salads. I'll ask for like extra veggies on salads, or if I see a salad and I want avocado on it or grilled chicken on it, I have them throw that on extra. And then I always ask for the dressing on the side. So those are kind of the things that I look for on a menu if I'm still trying to stick to my nutrition plan. And one thing to consider with 21 Day Fix is, yes, it has the meal prep, color-coded, portion control containers, but that does not mean that you always have to use the meal prep containers. Shocking, I know, right? And actually, I'll let you in on a little secret. Once you learn the portions and you realize what a serving of a red looks like, or a serving of a yellow and a serving of a green. Once you can learn those portions, you really don't need to lean on the containers very much anymore. I personally don't use the containers anymore, and I eyeball my portions because I want to teach myself how to intuitively eat. And I still track my portions in the 21 Day Fix app. And it allows me a little bit more freedom. I don't have to be so meticulous with it, but you can learn the sizes of the containers and what that portion looks like on a plate and still apply that to your nutrition plan when you're eating out. So don't forget that, keep that in mind. When you're eating out at restaurants, especially in the States, they overserve the portions on food pretty much like 85% of the time. So when you are eating out at a restaurant, a good idea is to ask for a box when your food arrives. So ask for a box immediately, and most of the time you're probably going to be cutting your dinner portion size in half, sometimes more. I've definitely seen more. And box up one of the half of your dinner in the to-go box. That way you're not going to be tempted to overeat, you're not going to overdo it, and you can stick to a regular size portion that's on your plate and kind of portion out what you want to eat that day. And you know, you don't have to overthink it, you don't have to be perfect. So if you go out and you have a little slip up, don't stress about it. Food is food. You're nourishing your body. Your body can handle, 200 extra calories every once in a while if that's not in your nutrition plan. So don't stress about it. Still enjoy yourself, and just know that this is just a guideline for you. The 21 Day Fix program is just a guideline for you to learn about portion size and intuitive eating. So I hope that helps. I know when I travel, I always carry my packets of Shakeology with me. When we go backpacking for a month at a time in the summer, we will bring 2 boxes of Shakeology packets, so we can always mix that up with water on the go. It is an absolute lifesaver, and I always bring little packets of Larabars with me when I travel too. So I have those 2 things in my purse at all times when I travel, just in case I get stuck, and boy, have they saved my life from being really hangry. So take those tips with a grain of salt. Feel free to implement them. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below or shoot me an email at vanessalchristopher@gmail.com, and I'm happy to answer them. So hope that helps, and hope you guys have a great day.